Next up is the application menu. Now it currently says Finder, but it is actually called the application menu. And we've discussed this already, that this name does change. This word here changes from time to time depending on what application is in the foreground, but it is the application menu. Now, whereas the Apple menu has to do with the overall operation of the computer, the application menu has to do with the overall operation of that application that's in the foreground at that particular moment. In this case, of course, it's the Finder. So let's take a look at these things, and there's actually probably quite a bit of information here we need to cover, so we'll do this in a couple different lessons. I'm going to hit the main things here first, and then we'll hit this preferences, which has quite a bit of information in it in the next lesson. So this is the application menu, and in almost every application, you're going to see an about whatever the name of the application is. When you select that, it brings up a little preference pane or a little sheet here that gives you basic information about that application. Applications are rewritten and they grow over time and things like that, so there's always going to be a version number associated with that application. But the important thing here on an application can be this copyright information. And why might that be important? Because sometimes you've got an application, you don't know where it came from, but if you have the copyright information, you can see what company created it. It's pretty easy to do there, and you can find out more information about the application, where it came from, and instructions on how to use it, that sort of thing. Because as we download and use applications, it can be a little bit confusing sometimes. So the preferences pane is the next thing in the list, but we're going to skip that because there's a lot of information in there. Let's talk about emptying the trash. This command has some ellipses at the end of it right here, and it brings up another dialog box that says, are you sure you want to do this? Let me make a quick comment about these dialog boxes. When you have a highlighted button, this is the default button that would be selected if you simply hit the return key on your keyboard. Cancel, this button, can always be invoked by command period. So if I hold down my command key and type a period, that's cancel. That's universal throughout the operating system. So when you have the ellipses, you know some other dialog box is going to come up, and if I hit the return key, it would empty the trash. Now, when you put something in the trash can down here, I'll just open that for you. A bunch of stuff I've been playing with here on my lessons in preparation of this particular lesson. I've thrown a bunch of stuff in the trash. And when you empty the trash, what it does is it erases it from the hard drive. You remember I said that even the trash can is basically just a folder on your hard drive. So when you empty the trash, that information is actually removed from the hard drive. Well, some of that information may be really sensitive, and you may not want any prying eyes to ever be able to see it. So what you do is you use secure empty trash. Same dialog box, a little bit different verbiage here, but what secure empty trash does is once the file is deleted from the hard drive, it continues to write ones or zeros over the space where that file resided on the hard drive, so that even forensic experts could not recover that data. When you empty the trash, you'll hear a little sound. There you go, and the trash is emptied. And you even get that visual indicator down there that the trash is now empty. Let's go on to this next menu. Services are basically just that. There are different services that are available throughout the operating system. And this menu is very contextual in nature. So in the Finder, it'll have a bunch of stuff in it, and in some other applications, it may not have all the same things in it. But it gives you the ability to perform certain actions if you have things selected, in this case in the Finder. So if you look at my desktop here, let me get out of this. I'll have this document selected here. I come back to the services menu, and I can perform a number of tasks here. I could add this information to Evernote into a program called OmniFocus that I use for scheduling. I could just open it. I could reveal it in the Finder to show me where this file actually is in a window. All sorts of things, services that could be performed on this file. And once again, these all change based on what application you're in and all that. Every application menu will contain hide and then whatever the application is here. We can't hide the Finder. If we try to select this, it's going to just, it's going to show you the desktop because the desktop is the Finder, right? So let me open some other applications and show you how this works. Oh, and let's see if there's some other application I could open here. Pages, I had that open earlier. All right. So if I'm in the Finder and I say hide others, everything gets hidden, right? I show all, and all the applications are available. I click on the calculator and it will have the same or similar menus. I could hide the calculator or I could hide others. Lets me just focus on the calculator. Come back to the Finder, hide others, right? Or show all. So it's just a way to get yourself visually kind of back in line and working with a clean screen. The other applications are certainly in the background running, but they're not visually in your way as you're trying to work here in the Finder. Well, next in the application menu is going to be a common menu item, and that is the Preferences menu item. You notice some ellipses, and those ellipses contain a lot of information, and we're going to talk about those next.